we got it. Hey everybody, I'm Katie Zacherle with Integrity Home Mortgage.
And I'm Jacque Vaughan with Clock Tower Realty.
And today we are here talking to you about winning.
Winning.
Winning in a hot market.
Yes, it's springtime.
And it's wild.
Yeah, houses get sold in the spring.
Yeah, I heard 1 in 2 hours the other day.
It's out of control. And we've been experiencing this for 2 years. So we are going to give you some tools on how to win.
Yes. So I had a real quick question before we dive into these 6 tips that you're going to give us. Where are you seeing the most activity in the Richmond market?
Richmond City, I believe, is hot. And the South Chesterfield area is another hot area.
I'm seeing that too. Wow.
People are just migrating south.
For the warmer weather?
Yes.
And the extra pollen?
Yes.
Well then, let's jump right in, because if we want to win in one of these hot areas, there's some things that we need to consider. So what would you say the most important thing is to have your offer considered strong?
Number 1 is financing. And what I appreciate about you, Katie, is that you go the step to do a pre-approval versus a pre-qualify. And a pre-qualification, from my understanding, can just be a phone conversation to verify income and things like that.
Yes, if you truly want to be pre-approved, that actually involves starting the process, handing over all of your income, asset, and employment documentation to your mortgage advisor. And then we can essentially underwrite you before you ever go into the market, so we can eliminate any hurdles or bumps that you might run into along the way.
Yeah, that is so much stronger than a pre-qualification, to know that the underwriter has seen those details.
Absolutely. Now, when you're evaluating offers as a selling agent, are there particular financing terms that are more agreeable than others?
Yes. With all the finance options that are out there, conventional has the least amount of hoops to jump through, is what I would say. And we're really referring to the appraisal process. So if I'm a seller and I have a property, a conventional appraisal is going to be less stringent than a FHA, VA appraisal.
Yes. So that doesn't mean your other offers wouldn't be considered, but from a seller's perspective, that causes them the least amount of grief.
Yes. If there are multiple offers, the chances of them choosing conventional would be higher, for sure.
So what's our next tip?
So to play to win, you have to know what you're being graded on. So having an agent call and get as much information as possible about what the seller's motivation is. I think it's very easy to assume that price is most important, but sometimes that seller may not have found another house. So just having a rent back where they can stay in the house and get the proceeds before they move to their next house is something that may make them choose your offer versus another one.
That's fantastic. I think we were talking earlier about when you receive offers, some surprises that you've experienced.
Yeah, I'm surprised how many times as a listing agent, I won't even receive a call from the agent. They'll just kind of send me an offer. And if they would have called me, I could have let them know things that are important to the seller to make the offer stronger.
Yes, because the goal is, as we've said so many times, to help both the buyer and seller, get to their goal.
We both want the house sold.
Yes. So we have conventional financing, we're pre-approved. What's another thing that is considered?
So when you're writing an offer as a purchaser, it's basically a piece of paper. But once you put cash money behind that piece of paper, we call that a good faith deposit or earnest money deposit, it looks and makes your offer a lot stronger. So our industry standard is 1%, at least $1,000, showing your good faith that you take this offer seriously. To make your offer stronger, you can put down more. And basically what you're telling the seller is, I'm serious about this, and I am in a good financial position where I can put this money up front. And it does sit in an earnest money account and can't be touched unless all parties agree to it. So you are protected in that area.
Yes, and I get this question a lot about the financing piece. The earnest money deposit or good faith deposit does count toward your total cash to close. So it's not extra on top of the purchase of the house.
You're just paying it a little bit earlier.
Yeah, well said. All right, so I've run into several situations lately where maybe a client is pre-qualified or pre-approved for more than they're offering on the home, and maybe they'd be willing to go a little bit higher, but they've lost out on a property due to the financial piece, or sorry, the offered amount. What would you do in that case?
So in my toolbox of tricks, I pull out the Earnest, the escalation clause. And what's really great about the escalation clause is it's an opportunity to bid higher than the best offer. So that could be $500, $1,000 higher than the best offer. And you want to make sure that you get a copy of the best offer, and you're going to go over it, and we're going to put a cap on it so that you don't pay $1 billion for the property as well.
That sounds great. I don't know if, or maybe you can get a loan for that, but most people I'm working with
$1 billion's a little hard.
Yeah, probably for a house in Forest Hill or something.
So you'd be surprised how many offers are won by not a lot of money, but just going over the best offer. You're letting the seller know how important that property is. And capping it is important because the property does need to appraise as well.
And then I think we've got one last tip that'll allow you to tip the scale in your favor, even if your offer isn't the highest.
A handwritten note. You found out what the seller's motivation is, and if you write a handwritten note letting them know what you appreciate about the house, that really makes a difference. So most recently I had someone that envisioned herself gardening. She told the seller that, and the seller was touched by it and decided to choose her offer over other offers, even though it wasn't the highest, because she knew that that house would be taken care of the way she took care of it when she lived there.
That's fantastic, Jackie. Well, thank you so much for giving us these great nuggets of advice. So if you've got further questions about buying a home in the Richmond market, then feel free to drop us a comment.
DM us.
We'll
Either
be here
way.
for you. All right, everybody, take care.
All right, bye.